Hello, I'm Steve. Thank you for visiting the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, here's a residential application. You can see it's a structure outdoors here on a porch. We have a door here that slides open left and right, a window. And we do have a couple of beams here coming across, and I think that's about it. You can see I received the floor plan as well as an elevation, and I think I also got a roof ceiling plan. But in any case, that's all we have up here right now. I'm going to turn off the floor plan here, or the elevation. I didn't do the whole detail of the home here, but we're going to go ahead and just look at what we can do for this portion anyway. So let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. Overall dimensions I have at 17 feet deep, I think. Actually, it goes a little bit further here. I think I had this at 2 more feet here. Sorry about that. Let me just pull that up real quick and check that out. We have another 2 feet. So we'll call it 19 feet deep by 20 feet and 2 inches wide, this outer portion here. And we have about 9'5" to the top of this beam up here, and then at the bottom I have it at 8'7". All right. Also, just to take a side note, here it shows that we have an overall space of about 343 square feet, and that if you were to calculate this space out, and this is how I normally would do the first part of a plan, is to figure out how many units it really calls for. So if you were to plan out, I would get a BTU demand here, and it would come out to 3 heaters at an S34, so 34,000 BTUs, or 5 of a 6,000 watt electric heater. Those are 20,000 BTUs apiece. Obviously, this space here, you couldn't put 5 Infratech electric heaters, but that just gives you a starting point to know kind of what to look forward to or look at as far as the application and what you might need. So just bear that in mind, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Now, this property is in the northwest of the United States. I think it's really close to the Canadian border, and I think it probably gets really cool over here. So my goal would be to produce as much heat as I can and extend the season out as far as possible. I don't think that we're going to be able to make this application year-round. However, if you're acclimated to the temperatures, it might allow you to sit out there for the better part of the year. I'm not quite sure of that. That's an individual acceptance, I guess. So all right, let's go ahead and look at my preferred on a job like this. It would be to put some gas heaters here. These are Infradynamics Sun Pack. This could be either a S34 or a TSH. They do make a TSR. I don't recommend the TSRs. I like the TSHs because it just gives you more flexibility as far as turning them on and off, and if you just had a switch here, you don't lose a remote control, things of that nature. So I'm not really I'm more keen into the hardwire than I am the handheld remotes. You'll notice here that the beams I have coming down here, or rafters you might call them, don't line up with the brackets here, so that's something that we just have to kind of confirm. What I've done is I've placed the 2 heaters centrally in this space here, and went with that. So the heaters might have to be moved over, or maybe the rafters are moved over and I'm just wrong on that rafter position. I think I have them at 16-inch centers, and they're 2x8s, I believe I put up there. But in any case, you could mount the heater to the rafter like that, or you could put a block where you see that it's needed, here to here and here to here possibly, or not quite sure how you might do that. You might even put a block that goes across the whole area here and maybe sticks out another inch. I wouldn't really like to see that, but I don't think that anyone would visually notice that the heaters are off center if you have them hooked up to the rafters properly. So these heaters are 4 feet long, so the brackets come out a little bit further than that 4 feet. I think it's 48 1/4 of an inch from this edge here to this edge over here, and that's where the alignment of the ceiling mount bracket, or even wall mount bracket for that matter, exists. So what else? I think I have these at about 5.5 feet from this edge here. So let's go ahead and mark that off here real quick to this point. And yeah, we got 5 feet 3 1/8 inch. You can see there. And I'm going to just delete that for right now. And that would be the same over here, the center of the heater to this edge over here. All right. And I'm using the full length of the bracket, and that way I can get the heater down as far as possible. I really want the heater as close as possible because of the fact that I want to produce as much heat as I can in the space down here. Let's go ahead and look at the ray. The ray here you can see, and also I am meeting the clearances of combustibles. And you also you might notice that this is all open here, so the exhaust is free to evacuate from the area. So here you go. We have a footprint here of basically 10 foot by 12 foot, and we're not covering the whole entire space. You can see here we're missing that area here and that area over here, but we are covering this whole area this direction here. And you can also see that this is a nice uniform footprint of heat, so that if you're sitting over here, you're going to appreciate just as much as you would over here. All right, and that's why I like to put them in the center if possible. You could put it over here on the edge, but then the center won't get the proper coverage. You'll need a third heater and possibly still not have a comfortable seating back here in the center back section. All right, so that would be the gas heater Sunpack 2 units. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and we're going to go ahead and look at the electric heater option. Let's see where I have that. Hold on 1 second. All right, so here we have the electric heater option. I'm sorry about that. I had a little issue with it coming up. The electric heater option, I have one 6,000 watt on this edge, one 6,000 watt on that edge, and then I have one on this front edge here. And so the 6,000 watt units are equivalent to about 20,500 BTUs, a little bit less than that, but so 20,500 BTUs. The Sunpacks were 34,000, so it is a lot hotter of a unit, and that's why earlier I mentioned it. You know, the square foot would actually call out for more heat or more units in order to give it the proper amount of BTUs per square foot. And but in any case, let's go ahead and look at the clearances on here. We have a clearance behind the heater, or sorry, rather it's actually in front of the heater. I'll look at it this one over here. It'll show better, a little bit better, I think. So we have at this point here 18 inches out, 36 inches down and around, and then 18 inches out from this edge here. I have this at approximately, so if you look at Infratech's brackets and the way that they show the angles, if you were to come straight off of here 60 degrees down, that's the angle that I'm using. You can see that lines up with the hole over here, the 60-degree hole that they have there. If you went any further than the 60 degrees, you would have to, number one, make sure you have clearances back here. You'd probably have to bring a longer bracket out, but also drill your own hole in that bracket in order to make it lock in place for yourself. So that's the lower clearances here, and you can see that there's no issue with any one of those. And then if you look at the above clearance, sorry about that, the above clearance here, you can see this is, if you look at their brochure, their information and mounting options, you can go to that 60 degrees on a wall with the OEM supplied bracket in the kit. So you do not need to go with a longer bracket, but this would be the clearance around the heater itself, and you're meeting all the clearances and the recommendations of the manufacturer with their 60-degree tilt. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. You can see here I'm really concentrating all this heat kind of in the center of the patio area, and you can see here how this heater here doesn't really reach out to this point. This would be the furthest throw that you can get out of a 6,000 watt unit and still be comfortable, or still feel the heat. I shouldn't even say be comfortable, but still feel the heat. You got another ray coming over here, so it makes it a little bit more acceptable. And then also, obviously we have this third ray coming over here, so the back section will be warm. Here you can see that we're not really, the same issue here. We're not really heating up the whole entire space properly, or efficiently, I should say. We are going with that 30-degree tilt. If you go with any further of a tilt to point it down further to the ground, you got to go with a longer bracket again and make your own hole to make that work out properly. They do have a 6-inch longer bracket, which would give you the full 6 inches all the way around the heater. So just to kind of show you an image of that. So you can see this is the 6 inches of clearance that we need to meet all the way around, but you'd also have to make sure you're meeting the 18 inches of clearance down below here. So it would have to be level with this if you were going to go straight down, but obviously you wouldn't want to on this application. All right, so that's the clearances that we're meeting there. Go ahead and turn those off. Oops. And again, you can see that we're getting a nice, decent coverage throughout the space. We're not hitting this edge here. We're missing this edge, and that edge, and that's probably why it calls out for the 5 units, as we stated earlier today. All right, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. Right now we're in November, and our November season gets extremely busy, so please be patient with us on returning some recommendations to you. I really appreciate that. And again, please tap that like button. We don't advertise, we don't monetize, therefore YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive your appreciation, and we thank you for that. Have a great day.